Hey guys, this is Abhishek and you're watching Triathlon Made Easy. Welcome to the very first video of the Triathlon Made Easy triathlon series. And in this 10-part video, I'm going to explain what is a triathlon, what are the legs of the triathlon, what is transition, how do you train for a triathlon, what is an Ironman, should you be doing the Ironman, is this sport really for you, and everything else. So let's get started. In this first video, we are going to talk about triathlon in general. So the word triathlon is basically a combination of two different words, which is tri, which means three, and athlon, which is a Greek word for sports. So the word triathlon means three sports. Now these three sports are swimming, cycling, and running, and generally they are to be done in the same order, meaning you start the race with the swim, you come out of the water, you start cycling, and after you finish cycling you head on to the run. Your time will start when you hit the water and it will end only when you reach the finish line. But does your time start when you're transitioning, when you're changing from swim to bike and bike to leg? Well, absolutely not. Once your timing starts, it doesn't pause until you hit the finish line. Triathlons come in various different distances, starting from a super sprint distance, which is just a 45-minute long race, all the way up to Ultraman distance, which is a 3-day, like a 36-hour race. You can click the link in the description to know more about the different races, the different distances and the different races in the market. There are different formats in a triathlon. It can be a draft legal, it can be non-drafting, as well as cross country. So draft legal races are races where you're allowed to ride together in a bunch, thereby benefiting from drafting and slipstreaming. If you want to know what slipstreaming is, you can check out the link in the description. Non-drafting races are longer races where you're not allowed to ride directly behind another rider, and you need to keep a distance of generally around 12 meters behind the rider. Cross-country races are basically races where the run and the bike leg will happen on off-road sections or trails instead of paved roads. Now there are two cutoffs in a triathlon. The first one is the final cutoff, and before the final cutoff itself we have something called as sectional cutoffs, meaning there is a cutoff for finishing the swim, there is a cutoff for finishing the bike, and finally there is a cutoff for finishing the race, which also happens to be the final race cutoff. Now these cutoffs are cumulative. Now let's take an example of the Ironman triathlon, where you need to swim for 4 kilometers, followed by a bike of 180 kilometers, and finally the full marathon, which is a 42 kilometer run. Now the final cutoff of this race would be 16 or 17 hours depending on the location. However, there are sectional cutoffs, meaning you need to be outside the water well within 2 hours 20 minutes. At the same time, you need to finish the bike leg within 10 hours of starting the race. That means if I'm a good swimmer and I finish the leg in probably 1 hour, that gives me extra 1.5 hours to finish the bike leg. Now if I'm a good cyclist and I finish the cycling leg within 8 hours of starting the race, that gives me 8 hours to finish the race. So this is something which is very crucial, and it's always better to have a good amount of leeway for the run. Well, there are many international government and non-government bodies, as well as your local organizations as well. The most prominent international organization is the World Triathlon Organization, which is based in Switzerland, and it is responsible for organizing a lot of these shorter distance races under the banner of ITU, which is International Triathlon Union. These races are generally for professionals, though some of them are open to other participants as well. The other organization is the World Triathlon Corporation, which is a private body which organizes longer distance races under its brand name, the Ironman. Apart from this, obviously there are a lot of local organizers who organize local races in and around India. It is very surprising, but Ironman races do not ask for any previous triathlon experience. So if you haven't even heard about the Ironman triathlon, you can still register, well, as long as you pay. Local races, on the other hand, will have some of the other selection criteria, or they need you to have some of the other past triathlon experience so that you can attempt the race. Again, this is just for the safety of your athlete. But should you just get up and register for the race? Well, absolutely not. In the upcoming videos, we learn more about the different legs of the race, as well as how to train for it and other logistical requirements. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please share it with your friends. Is there something you want to know which I haven't covered? You can obviously put your questions and comments in the comment section. I'll make sure to answer all of them. This is Abhishek of Heart from Triathlon Made Easy, signing off.